Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United related. Please, it is the Friday edition, so I'm joined by my Don Eddie in the building from the best coast, which is the West Coast. Eddie, what are you saying? You good?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there, especially when it comes to this United thing, I'm getting there. But yeah,
Oh, we
shout
got a
out to
lot
my
to discuss,
dog.
people. We got a lot to discuss. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, shout out to my dog. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, man, man, man. I'm good though. I'm good though. Still.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad you're good in it. Apologies on the slight delay on the start, people. I had to run and get my headphones, but we're here. We're in the building, of course. Like Eddie mentioned, you know what I'm saying? He's not too good in regards to his football, in regards to the football team. Same with me, both Manchester United fans, of course. So we're gonna get into the debacle, the absolute debacle, which is the Europa League exit to Sevilla. That's why I put who is to blame for Europa League exit. Just simple as that. Something we will discuss because it's not just one person. It's just not two people. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of players. You know what I'm saying? And I've spoken for those that are regular watchers. I say it all the time, and you're going to get tired of me saying this, people. I will push the majority of this team off a cliff. I'm saying theoretically, not literally, people. And when I stated this, some people in the comments were looking at me funny. Like when it was 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, and people were talking about this team being in a title race. This is now the same team that has failed to win the second tier European competition, and I've spoken in depth many a time in regards to our reliance on our important players, our better players, i.e. Varane, Martinez, Casemiro, Ericsson, Rashford. When people have tried to call us a one-man team, I've said no, we are a five-a-side team. And when them five players are unavailable, or a mixture of them five players are not on the pitch, are missing on, and the rest of them are not playing well, we struggle. And we've seen it in both legs over Sevilla. Like, go back and watch the watch along. First leg watch along, people. Regular watchers will know this. I was livid at that performance, even when we was 2-0 up. Because just giving up the ball to the opposition, even though the opposition is crap, is not a good thing. Because then what happens when you play opposition who's average, above average, good, great, top tier, top class? Manchester United, we as United fans want Manchester United to go and compete for the Premier League and Champions League. And we're out here struggling in the Europa League against the crap side. That's why I'm still livid now. Because they're not good. And I stand by that. I said this before Sevilla, the first leg. After while we was playing them, I'm like, they're crap. After the first leg, I said they was crap. And the second leg, I'm still saying they were crap. They've shown me nothing over 180 minutes. We gave them the goals. First two goals, we gave them. I'm saying we gave them the first two goals. Nonsense. I'm talking about in the first leg. Yesterday, De Gea and Maguire, which we'll get into as well. I'm saying, and I'm gonna let Eddie. I know he's got a lot to get off his chest, but as do I. I'm saying, second goal, it hit the man's shoulder from the corner, and the third goal, what's De Gea doing? So we gonna get into everything. Make sure you bump up the likes though, first and foremost. Make sure you do that. Let's get up to, there's over 30 of you like in the building already, and we're not even at 20 likes. So let's get up to 20 likes, people, and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. I know Eddie's gonna have plenty to say. I've still got more ranting to do, and I had a ManDem United yesterday, and I got enough off my chest for about an hour before Murtaza jumped in. I'm still pissed. I'm still livid about that performance. I'm still so annoyed.
You have no idea,
Like,
bro.
and Eddie, let me run through some of these comments and then I will
Did
get to it.
thing, did
Of
thing.
course, if you lot super chat as well, you lot what's it called? Any super chats, and I get straight to it. Don't forget, link for the membership is in the pinned comment as well. And next week, 110%, what I'm gonna do for you lot is fan calling show, at least one. Next week, I'm gonna run one for you lot because I keep saying it. So definitely, it will be on the Twitch though. Not here on the YouTube, it will be on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Reese says, big up, Flawless My G, big up to you. No, there won't be any watch alongs tonight, but I will do one for the Cavs Knicks at a later date, 100%. I will do. Big up to United for life. Who says big up Flawless and everyone at Sarcasm City. Happy Eid to all my Muslim brothers. Yeah, man. Happy Eid to all my Muslim brothers, man. Salute to all of you lot. Give it to Mike. He says, ultimately the whole squad, but Maguire set the tone. After he and De Gea screwed that pass, it put the whole squad on edge and you could sense the fear. Every time he plays, everyone else plays tight. We're gonna get to that. But we're gonna get David De Gea is one we're gonna get to. Jack says, I feel disgusted seeing Maguire wear the armband and release ego-driven statements to the media. He's so deluded. Did he say something after this game? Let me know if he did. United for Life said Sevilla had one strategy. They knew that De Gea, Maguire, and Lindelof are not press resistant or secure. And if they knock on the door and apply a little pressure, then the house of cards will crumble. The crazy part is, the only time they scored from the press was that one. The other one was a corner, which hit a man's shoulder, and then the other one was just a long ball, and De Gea's made a complete mess of it. So it's not even like their press was great. They were crap. We were just worse. That's what it was. They were just, as Eddie calls it, tryhards. They just put in effort and just ran and just closed down and harried. Play Simple says, what up between you, Nathan says, and behind the enemy lines. Yeah, man, good to see you here. We will talk about the Brighton game as well. Big up True Blue. Big up Anwar as well. Ram as well. Big up to you as well. I didn't even know that. Look at the stats. We had 0 tackles in the final third. This means the front line was limp and useless. Sabitzer at 60% passing accuracy and Casemiro at 70%. You can't have less than 80 as a United midfielder. I even think 80 is enough, but we'll get into that as well. Jesse says we in the building. NJ says it's time for United fans to accept we still average, that a lot of these players are not good enough. I'm starving all the best questions, but I've spoken for about 5-10 minutes now. Eddie, well, about 5 minutes. Eddie, the floor's yours.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show you, to that brother's point, how average we are.
Mhm.
Because when I look at average, consistency at a high level is what makes you great.
Mhm.
Having highs this high and having lows this low puts you right in the middle, which is average.
Mhm.
Yesterday, I hadn't seen United look so lifeless, so meek, just so timid, since the beginning weeks of the season. That was the beginning of the week performance. I mean, the beginning of the season performance.
Mhm.
That was what team I saw out there. The team in the beginning of the season, and I knew we'd miss Varane and Martinez. I didn't know it'd be like that though,
Mhm.
because we had won a couple games leading up to that. But I think what you're seeing more than anything is just certain players have a lack of mentality when it comes to how to perform in these kinds of situations. Um,
Are you?
I saw Lindelof pass back. I don't know how many times. I saw Maguire again. We'll talk about him. I saw him do some of the most foolish shit I've seen a center back do in a long time for United.
Mhm.
Um, who are fullbacks? I say who are fullbacks because were they even involved in the game?
They did very little in it. You know what I'm
You know what
saying?
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And midfield. Um, I guess I'll try and give the midfield some kind of pass.
I wouldn't even do that, but he's
But
better than me.
yeah, but I just land at the fact that I can't because they didn't show up. I go legit. One person is the Anthony is the only one that showed up. That's it. Um, I said it while the game was starting, watching us play. Like, yeah, you can sub in Rashford, but is that really going to change what is going on right now? We lack the level of belief. We lack the level of seriousness. When you see these dudes tearing up on the pitch in Sevilla, you realize the level. Like, it's like they tapped into like some kind of Super Saiyan tryhard mode. They were just flying all around the pitch. Everything, everywhere the ball was, they ran like dogs after it, right? And at some point, what that does is it wears on you, and it has you second guessing where the player is because they've been all over you the entire game. So now the passes are a bit rushed. And then when you think you're good, you're actually not. Um, I don't care what anybody says. This is just my opinion. I can be wrong. I guess so. If Martinez gets past that ball in the Maguire space where three people are around him, I sincerely think he'd make a better decision than what Maguire chose to do in that situation.
No, agreed.
I,
Agreed.
and again, De Gea should know better, but
Yeah.
Maguire calls for the ball here, right? So he had some level of security. And again, even if that's the case, like this is now a couple games in a row, a couple L's, where I can point to De Gea playing the ball out the back
Mhm.
in a situation that's only advantageous for the defenders, right? And that leading to us to a goal, right? He passes Varane the ball in that coffin corner. Varane turns it over,
Mhm.
pass to the up. They switch the side, ball
The
over the
Newcastle
top
game you're
of
talking
the
about.
Newcastle game,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then I go to this game,
Mhm.
and again, 50-50 for me on the first one. The third one is indefensible. Third one is indefensible. That's like school league shit. How are you allowing yourself to be that lost in the moment? Right? How are you allowing for yourself to be that exposed? And it's a joke, man. It's like so
Mhm.
it's like they look like the Tin Man out there. You know the Tin Man in the Wizard of Oz. Ever seen that joint?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've
He
seen
out
that.
here
Yeah,
looking for his heart. He out here looking for his heart. He can't
yeah.
find it. None of them players had any kind of heart. None of them players had any kind of a bite. Um, just a joke of a performance. Like that's all I can label it as a joke. Think about who we talking about here having brilliant performances. Shout out to True Blue Clay, Fernando, Ocampos, Rakitic, and Nesri, Lamella.
Mhm.
Huh? That's who y'all lost to? That's who y'all didn't get. That's who y'all got smoked by?
Smoke by. Yeah,
I don't even feel like loss is the appropriate word because
smoke by. Hmm.
you got smoked. You got smoked. And again, I'm of the point now where I never want to see Maguire play for this club again.
Mm.
Um, let's just run through the list. I'll run through the list real quick. Lindelof, gotta go. Right?
You took my, you know what, you took my shine, fam. This is where I was gonna go.
This is
Go
what
on.
it is. Yeah,
You stole my whole
I'll
flow
give
word
you
for word. Nah, you go
a
in it. This is where I was gonna get to, because I ranted all yesterday, and I was already could see myself going on the rant. I'm like, yo,
little.
Eddie's here, let him talk. So yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
go to it, fam. And then
I'm going
I'm
through
gonna
the
add,
whole
I'm
line.
add to
I'm
the
going through the
conversation.
whole
Yep.
line, man.
Hmm.
Right back, or Basaka off the bench because you're a defensive specialist. That's it. That's the only thing saving you.
Hmm.
Left back, Delo, shit. He can go too. I don't care.
No. I,
Midfield, upgrade on Ericsson. Sabitzer, I'm a bit iffy on. Yeah, I wouldn't fork over too much money. Into the front three. Martial got to go. Um,
and that's a former card carrying member of the
that's
Martial,
Martial
saying
fan,
fan club.
platinum,
Yeah,
platinum, dog,
platinum,
platinum.
platinum.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, bro. I tried. I tried, man.
You did. You tried.
It's kind of like when you watch Scarface, right? And you one of them dudes who's working for Scarface, and you see Buddy is going off. He going off against all them odds. Then you see that brother creep up on him with the shotty at the end of the movie. You like, I ain't getting none of that. I'm cool. I don't need no more. I'm good. That's how I feel right now. Vaya con Dios. Let you go ahead and handle that. I ain't can't defend it no more. And the hardest one is Sancho, um, because I'm trying to figure out where he fits into all this. You have Rashford off the left. Is he going to be a backup left wing? Right. You
Mhm.
have strikers coming in for sure.
Yeah,
The right wing, I think, is solidified by the looks of it.
with
Ahmad is
Anthony.
turning into something special.
And you got
Uh,
Diallo as well.
you got, yeah, and then you got Anthony. And I think with the Sancho situation, it's like not even, for me, it's just not even his fault. I
All
can't
right.
even blame him because we're not the team to support him or get the best out of him. We play too athletic of a game. That's just what it is. We look for athletes. Athletes excel. That's what I think. That's the thing I'm getting at. Athletes excel in this
Yep.
system, right? I think that's mine. Forget whatever I think about these players technically and the decisions they make. Um, the way we play sets up for them to be special.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was trying to knock my head against the wall, like, why is this guy good? Why is this guy good? Why is this guy? It's athletic as hell.
I talk about it
So
all the time. Pace and power, man.
pace and
Talk
power.
about P and B. I keep saying this. P and
Yeah.
B. I'm going to carry on, fam.
But nah, that's it. It's like
Mm.
that's all I got for right now. I'm gonna let you cook
Mhm.
because I'm just thinking to myself like,
I can see you going through it,
yeah,
like thinking even more about it and what happened and what went wrong and certain players and
it
yeah,
was a
man.
joke, man. It was a
I mean,
joke. It
I
was a
mean,
joke, dog.
huh? It was, and like I keep stating, too many people in particular on social media. Not so much you lot here, because for the most part, the Sarcasm City TV crowd, you lot in the comments, whether I agree or disagree with you lot, you're fairly level headed. I'm saying in that the majority, like the vast majority, I'm saying like 95% of you lot, even when I disagree, I understand where you lot are coming from. But too many people, in particular on social media, do results based analysis. And I keep saying this. And shout out to Peter because he was the one who first mentioned that phrase to me. When United are playing and when United are winning, everything's cool and we're playing well and there's no complaints and there's no qualms. Whereas when United are losing, it's dreadful or the players are terrible. Ten Hag needs to do more. When you can see performances, it's about being consistent. Eddie mentioned it right at the very start. Being consistently great is what makes you great. If you are an 8 out of 10 one week and a 4 out of 10 the next week, that's no good. You have to be consistently sevens, eights, nines, tens if you want to go and compete and win the big trophies. And we have too many players who can't do that. Too many players who can't do that, who are good one week and not good the next. Look at the performance yesterday, and look at the performance against Forest. Chalk and cheese. Absolutely chalk and cheese. That's no good. And we've had too many of them performances. But because we've won matches or drew matches, people have overlooked it. Again, I keep talking about the first leg. The first leg against Sevilla, that performance was not good. It wasn't too far away from the performance yesterday. Was the performance worse yesterday? Absolutely. But what I'm saying is they're not night and day. We was not good against Sevilla in the first leg. I kept banging on about it. But people are like, oh, we won 2-0. No, so just because we was up 2-0 means we was playing well, means the players was playing well. No, we was giving up the ball just as much. We wasn't creating anything. We wasn't harrying. The energy wasn't there. The technical security wasn't there. The team, like nothing was there. We was off the pace, but because Sevilla was so shit, we we managed to scam a draw. They couldn't take full advantage. And I kept saying this. This is why we've been battered a couple times this season. Because if you give up the ball that much to quality opposition, you will concede 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a possibility if they have anything in terms of their midfield and anything in their attack. And we've seen that happen. Happened at Liverpool. It happened at Liverpool. Happened at Manchester City. Brentford put 4 past us as well. Newcastle could have scored many more goals. That's for Fulham, and Fulham's recent. But again, because we won the Fulham game, people weren't talking about the performance. The performance yesterday was not too far away. Was not much worse than the Fulham game. They were both shocking. But because Willian did what he did and they went down to 9 men when Mitrovic got sent off and we scored, and then Bruno scored the pen, and then we ended up winning the game 3-1. No one's talking about the performance. Like Alvin jokes about it, yeah. Like, and use the Andy Tate meme. Shout out to the guy Andy Tate every time in it, talking about it was all a part of the master plan. But that performance isn't good enough. We got bopped by Fulham. Bopped. Completely. I don't know who was missing. Absolutely bopped by Fulham. And again, too many people do results-based analysis and don't look at the performance until we get hit by that by Sevilla. Was I confident going into the game yesterday? Yes. Because we have the better team and the better players, and we had Casemiro, we had Eriksen out there. And in those two, I trust. And those two were awful. So I'll start with those two. But before I do, you lot continue to bump up the likes. Let's bump up the likes. We're at 34 likes. Over 40 of you lot in the building. So let's get up to 40 likes. Please share this across the socials and subscribe to the channel. Sarcasm City TV is road to 7K people. Road to 7K. We're currently at 6,332. We're looking for 3 new subscribers. Get us to 6,335. Just 3 more subscribers. The first half of the Sevilla first leg was good, but the second half, no doubt, fell off a cliff once Varane came off. I disagree here today. We were awful in the first leg. Outside of the 2 goals, what did we create? When did we keep the ball? What patterns of play did we see? When did we have any sustained pressure against Sevilla? When were they under the cosh? When was the goalkeeper making saves? When was their last-minute blocks or last-ditch tackles? They were comfortable. When I say comfortable, I'm talking about from a defensive standpoint. They just offered nothing going forward because they're crap. But back onto yesterday anyway. Yeah, Casemiro and Eriksen, woeful. Worst I've seen Eriksen play in the United shirt. Worst I can remember him playing. That's his worst performance of the season. As for Casemiro, yeah, he was awful. He was awful yesterday. And then that puts us up Schick's Creek, you know what I'm saying, without a paddle, because we know that without those two, well, I've spoken on this, without those two, yeah, we're going to struggle. With no Varane, no Martinez, and Rashford on the bench. It's on the other players, and we've seen the other players can't carry the load. But Casemiro, woeful. Eriksen, woeful. 100%. Let's get into not the elephant in the room, but the main talking point, or one of 2 major talking points. David De Gea. David De Gea. Goalkeeper, I've spoken and I've had debates on here. Me and Saeed had a debate on Unfiltered podcast about 2 weeks ago. He's just not here as a goalkeeper. And I'm not saying just because of those 2 mistakes. I'm saying outside of that, previous games that might not have cost us. Talking about him playing out from the back. Forget the mistake for the 3rd goal. Forget that. Even against Forest, we won the game coming for crosses. They hit the post once, I believe, from across Forest. And then there was another time Martial was doing some defending at the back stick. If the ball's in the 6-yard box from a corner or a free kick, my goalkeeper, who is 6 foot plus, should come and catch it. Simple as that. He only excels, De Gea only excels at shot stopping. That's it. Not good enough, because we had a striker who only excelled at goal scoring, and we criticized him, and rightfully so. So why is it not the same energy for the goalkeeper? Because we got to stop doing up this sentimental thing. And if we sign him to a new deal, and he's our number 1 next season, I'm looking at everybody funny, including Ten Hag. I don't agree with that decision whatsoever. And I'm fine. I'm not going to turn Ten Hag out. People want to go overboard as well. I'm not going to turn Ten Hag out. And I'll talk about people going overboard once I've got this monologue off my chest. Yeah, De Gea, not good enough. Maguire, we know about. Why De Gea's playing him the ball, I don't know. Why Maguire's asking for the ball, I don't know. I blame them both. Whoever you want to blame more, cool. If you want to say 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, cool. But it's not 100% De Gea, it's not 100% Maguire. There are 2 professional footballers out there. I made the joke on, I think, ManDem United yesterday. If that's me in that position, I'm playing Saudi League. I'm telling my goalkeeper kick the ball long. I've been there. I played Saudi League. And I've been closing in on the goalkeeper. See, there's a man there. I'm telling him kick it long. Why are you trying to play it to Maguire there with 3 men around him? Not 1 or 2, 3 men around him. Why is Maguire asking for it with 3 men around him? Why are other players not saying kick it long? I was saying before we did that, why is the hair not going long? Why do we continue to play out from the back? Why? So that's on Maguire. Lindelof, who I thought was okay, even though on the ball he wasn't the best, that shows why he's not good enough. But people are like, why are you so critical of Lindelof? Why are you so critical? Because he's not good enough. When people say, oh, I'd have him as a squad player. Yes, number 5. 5th choice. There should be Martinez, Varane, 2 behind them, and then Lindelof, because he's not good enough. That's a Europa League game against a poor Sevilla side, and he didn't stand out. Wan-Bissaka, spoken on it again, good enough to be a squad player. Mentioned it. Would I keep him? Yes. I would keep him. Yes, 110%. But as backup, because he can lock someone up defensively. Because he wasn't even bad yesterday. He was decent. I'm saying, but he just did Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He was no worse on. He's been consistently decent, like pretty much since the World Cup. But it's not good. It's not good enough, and that's where Wan-Bissaka is. Wan-Bissaka at his very best is good. That's not good enough. You see how important fullbacks are in the modern day game. You see what other fullbacks do, whether it's Liverpool when they've had their successes, whether it's Manchester City when they've had their successes. You see the importance of how good fullbacks can be, whether it's Trent and Robertson, whether it's Kyle Walker and Cancelo. The list goes on. The list goes on. As for Dalot, spoken on him. I think Dalot's a good fullback. But again, back to the Aaron Wan-Bissaka thing. Good is not good enough. And what Aaron Wan-Bissaka has over Dalot is that he excels at something. And that's in terms of defensive. The problem I have with Dalot is he excels at nothing. And I've had this because I used to defend him. If you look back at the start of the season, I'd defend Dalot and go, nah, we should keep him. But my expectations and I think my patience was worn thin now. And that's where I've been at. I'm tired of waiting for these players to deliver more. There isn't anything more. We're the best team in that competition and we're out because these players didn't deliver. If Martinez and Varane, we probably go through, to be honest.
We go through, no question. Yeah. No.
So it's like you man can't even win the second tier Europe. What's the meme? My expectations were low, but holy fuck. You know what I'm saying in that? I can't even get past Sevilla. And you man go out like that. You didn't even go out with a fight. Went out with a whimper. Sabitzer was poor. But again, that's why I bring Sabitzer in. But very similar to Lindelof. Squad player. He should be number 5. In terms of it should be Casemiro, upgrade on Eriksen, back up to Casemiro, Eriksen, and then Sabitzer. And that game shows why I want to upgrade on Eriksen. Even though that's the worst game I've seen him playing and he was awful. Sabitzer wasn't good either. He was awful. Anthony was the only one who looked like doing anything. And I need to see more from him. And my biggest concern with Anthony is forget his playing style, getting on the pitch. He's played 19 league games. We're at game week 32. You've missed way too many matches. That needs to step up next season. Yeah, I heard about World Cup fever. He has a couple of injuries. That's not enough. I need you more available. Jadon Sancho. A player people are going overboard with in terms of the criticism, but does he deserve criticism? Yes. I keep saying it. Talented player, wrong club, wrong league. It's an athlete's game. It's an athlete's game. And he is not athletic enough to be playing in the Premier League. There's no acceleration. There's no burst of pace. Is he quick? Yes, but he's not quick enough. He's not electric. He's not direct. And that's just not his game, which is cool. That's not a criticism. That's just pointing out what he is. But he was poor. I still need to see more because you're more talented than what you are showing. What did he do yesterday? Someone mentioned it, jumping out of tackles at the edge of the box. Tackle. How you jumping out the tackle? Don't do that. Offered nothing. Martial, been done with. I said if he stays, 3rd choice. We need 2 strikers if he goes 3. Not good, not reliable enough. I have no issues with his talent, even though he was poor yesterday. When he did get the ball, he didn't really do too much. But I still need to see more from him. Not good at and I keep saying that about players. Now I start low. Sancho criticism is overboard when people start talking about his mentality and off the field issues and his personality. People don't know that, man. So just criticize his football and keep it moving.
So that's simple.
It's simple as that because no one don't be talking about Lindelof off the pitch. No one mentions De Gea off the pitch. How come no one mentions De Gea off the pitch? Bear in mind he tried to force a move to Real Madrid. People forgetting that. and Van Gaal dropped him, and Romero was playing at the start of that season. Or people just convenient. Let that be Sancho. Let a club come in for Sancho and Ten Hag drops him because his head's not right. And a Garnacho or a Palestri's playing out there at the start of the season. Say that happens this season coming. He would get crucified. And rightfully so. Let's not go over the overboard with the criticism. I'm talking about outside. If you want to criticize Jadon Sancho the footballer, criticize Jadon Sancho the footballer. One thing I'm not going to do is be an advocate and encourage people to talk about footballers outside of football. You know what I'm saying? But wait, Flawless, do you need to have athleticism to do bits in the Premier League or at Manchester United? There are
Um,
players who aren't athletic who play well in this league. At the top level, no, there isn't, you know.
no.
Outside of Mahrez, Harry Kane, and when I say the top level, I'm talking about going to compete for Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, which Harry Kane don't do, but we all believe he's good enough. Outside of Mahrez and Harry Kane, Yimiko, I'll ask you the question. Name me the players that do that. That play centre forward, play left wing, or play right wing.
This is what I'll
Go on,
say to
fam.
that. Mares is surrounded by a team and a structure that plays to his strength. Um, Again, even in that situation, he's surrounded by some level of pace. When you have Kyle Walker behind you driving the
Mm-hmm.
ball forward, um, the rest of the team that like for what they look like, that City back line is pretty athletic.
Mm-hmm.
And so they play a lot out of the back too. And so a lot of times they're dictating the level of pace they're playing at. And you couple that with the midfield, like we have De Bruyne. You know, they got De Bruyne. De Bruyne's not the most athletic guy. Um, Bernardo Silva, um, Gundogan, like you name it, right? They're not the prem athletes that you're looking for, but they're playing in a Pep system, so it's like they're an anomaly. You can't really look at City and be like, yeah, because those guys are there doing that. Yeah, Sancho can do that with any other team. No, it has to be a Pep system,
Mm-hmm.
right? He was a City Academy player for a reason. Um, and so for me, like when it comes to Sancho, it's just and even to a Kane for an extent, right? Kane had Mora, he had Son, he had who else you name it. Like he's had speed around him, right? Um, I just look at Sancho, and it's all about his compatibility within this team. Do I think he can play in the Premier? I believe so. I believe so. But I just think this idea of him being on the wing, nah, nah. And see, that's the thing. Um, Jez, I just disagree because I think Sancho has it there, but that dog in him as well. But we just see how our team goes as Varane and Martinez go, not even with play style. But did you notice there wasn't that many Vamoses and there wasn't that much of a fire?
Mm-hmm.
Like we lost that. And I just think again, we're just looking at a team where I'll say it like this, and I'll end with this.
Well,
When you look at Man City, what makes them successful is there's always some kind of reset when it comes to the players on that pitch. There's some kind of reset, right? What we saw about 3 years ago, I think we haven't seen like it's different people, but I think the only thing that stays the same is probably the manager, right? Only thing that stays the same. Every time you're gonna see another person get dropped out, a guy like Holland coming in to change the entire outlook of what they got going on, and that keeps them fresh. And then when you think about Arteta and everything he did, he got a brand new 11 to
mm-hmm.
make in his own image as much as people hated it, but it was a
Mm-hmm.
reset.
Works.
Um, keep going down the list, and you look at the club like and you just look at what we got going on. When was the last time we had a reset?
Facts. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's 3 years of the same, maybe even longer than that, right? 3 to 4 years of the same players doing the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I just think that that's where it all ends and starts, right? We haven't initiated the level of reset that we need to see differences in the production. We're still seeing the same
Yeah.
just
The
warts.
same
It's
players I'm
crazy.
tired from.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
yeah.
I'm done. Like I've been done, and now this is just overkill. This is why
Yeah.
I'm not even criticizing Ten Hag like that, because I'm looking at the players. This is what I was saying, and someone mentioned it about me being on Big Six. Again, salute to the whole Big Six gang, Turkish,
Yeah, you did a
the
great
whole
job
gang.
with that one, man.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it, man. You know what I'm
the
saying? I know
bullets
if I
were
didn't
flying
represent right,
too.
you lot would tell me. You know what I'm saying? So big up, appreciate it. Flawless, you should be on Big Six more. Hey, so if they shout me, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you see me on whether it's a Troops pod, Big Six, anything like that, it's all about I don't turn these down. I could have easily turned that down. I'm like,
Yeah,
nah. Like Eddie said, man, I'm gonna walk in the lines and then come out with the Lions coat. I'm
talk
saying
about it.
comfy, like comfy. So yeah, man, and shout out to Troops as well. That podcast is out, so make sure you go check it out. Your boy out here working. But yeah, in regards to it, I'm just tired of the players. And me and Eddie have sat up here for about a year and a half since we've met. 2 years, however long me and
Mm,
Eddie, and we've been talking about the same players since we've met on this very
honestly,
show. Like,
and
and
if you want to keep it a buck, that's what got me so upset yesterday. And not really upset because
mm,
having to drive this point home. Like you can have agendas and everything if that makes you feel good
mm,
about what's going on in the
yes,
situation,
yeah,
but everything was poor.
yes.
Everything was
I don't
poor.
defend anybody. Yes, they
There's
was all
no
bad. Yes.
the to pick one performance out of the other is just like
Mm,
what's the point?
yeah.
Everything was poor about it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those situations. Man.
And that's it. That's why I'll be more, even though Casemiro was woeful yesterday, Ericsson was woeful yesterday, I give them more of a blight because one, they've been much more good than they have been bad. Two, they've
Right,
been consistent.
right.
And three, they've actually helped us have success this season. People could say, oh, the Carabao Cup, the Carabao Cup. But I was just trying that on Big Six and that. He's 21. You've never seen a Carabao Cup in your life. What are we talking about? You've never seen your team win that trophy. You've never seen your
Yeah,
team win a Premier League. You've never seen your team win a champs. You've seen 2, 3 FA Cups in your lifetime. One of them you was probably running around in nappies. What are we doing here? So you don't remember it like that. And this
yeah,
is why I stated, like, don't let that bad performance overshadow the entire season. Is it very disappointing? Yes. Am I livid about it? Also, yes. But we've still had a successful season. Nobody had us at this point that nobody had us at this point at the start of the season. Yes, objective
yeah,
change. Fully hear that. Objectives moves, objectives change. And I'm very disappointed about going out of the Europa League. But we still won the
yeah,
trophy. We can still win the FA Cup. Is it going to be tough against Brighton? Absolutely. And we'll get into that shortly. But we can still win that. So we could still win 2 trophies and finish in the top three. And even
yeah,
if we don't win the FA Cup, we get a Carabao Cup and finish in the top three. And you look at us being defensively better, offensively better. We've scored more goals. We've conceded less. We've accumulated more points. We've improved on everything. But just because we've improved doesn't mean there's not levels to go. That's what it is. And this is the point I was making yesterday, in particular on Big Six.
mm,
That just because I'm saying we've improved doesn't mean there isn't levels to go. I was saying to Hammers Redmond, shout out to Hammers, and he was saying how I was saying it was the best team in the past 10 years. And I said to him, that's not a flex. Because our teams in the past 10 years have been crap. The reason why United fans are so gassed and happy because we see sustained progress. You can
hmm
look at it. I can look at what Ten Hag's doing, and I can say, I can see what you're doing. When we finished second on the Ollie, which isn't an achievement, by the way, I'm saying because
hmm
we were garbage and playing rubbish. You know what I'm saying? That's not what trophy did we win. I may try to jump on the NBA watch along and say, oh, what's the difference between Ollie and Ten Hag? The trophy.
Like this is what
Yeah.
I
And he was
yeah
like, so yeah, Carabao Cup. Yeah, I said, yes, a trophy. And he showed up. It's like, exactly. Because that's what we watch our teams to win. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah
trophies. We want our teams, whether that's the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, Europa League, Premier League, or Champions League. Obviously, we have our preferences. We know what the top tier trophies are. But
Yeah.
Manchester United were never in for no top tier trophies this season. We weren't in the Champions League. We're not good enough to win the Premier League. We're not currently right now as constructed. So the best we could do is League Cup, FA Cup, Europa League. We've won one, we're out of one, go win the other. Are we second favourites in the Champions and the FA Cup? Yeah, you could argue third. Some people will have Brighton favourites. I'm not going to argue against you. Even though we've been here criticizing United for about 45 minutes, guess what? I'm still predicting us to win that game. Am I confident? Yes. Am I very confident? Absolutely not. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Absolutely not. No, I'd be lying to you. Lot.
No,
But
I
am I
got you,
confident? Yes.
man.
Because you know what? Call me, I'm a Manchester United fan. That's why. And I look at our manager and I look at our team and go, we have a good manager. There's quality players. We can beat Brighton in a one-off game. But again, if somebody says Brighton are going to smack us, Brighton are favourites, I'm not going to argue you down. I'm not going to argue you down whatsoever.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an insult to Ten Hag, innit? There's miles difference. That's why I don't pay it no mind, Yumiko. Because I know what people are trying to get at. Because people got all this for my own team, but people's teams are in first, and man ain't confident with winning league titles. I asked Babs, are you going to win the league titles? I'm not confident. I'm at Chelsea's team. His team's in 11th. They're going to be in no European competition, and Nagelsmann's not going there now. He was the leading candidate according to reports. Their
What he
squad's not
said
good.
now?
He said, yeah, but apparently that's what reports said today. You got Liverpool, who owners are cooked. Klopp's in his Wenger phase, where he's falling off, but people don't want to admit it, and they need 9-10 players.
Yeah.
And they're on a buy to sell model.
Yeah.
So that's Arsenal, that's Chelsea, that's Liverpool. City will be Manchester City. Spurs we don't care about because we just don't take them serious. Like we don't until they do something. So we're still in a good
Right.
state, and we still had a more successful season than everybody so far in the top six. Will that change? Yes, because either City or Arsenal will win the Premier League. Then they
Right.
would have had a better season than us.
Right.
But guess what? If Arsenal win nothing and finish second, and we finish third with the League Cup, or we finish fourth with the League Cup, guess who had a better season? Manchester United.
Yep.
Therefore, had a better season than Chelsea. We've had a better season than Spurs. Had a better season than Liverpool. So I look, but there's still levels for us to go. We're our own bar, not any of our rivals. But I'm just pointing that out to United fans when you hear rival fans talking. Understand where that's coming from. Hate, because they've had crap seasons. Or in the Arsenal case, people not being confident. You imagine how me and Eddie would be talking if Arsenal were in Manchester United's situation. Would I be confident of winning the league? Yes. I back my team. I back my players when I believe they're good. Just give me a little bit of hope. That's all I ask for. And that's what the manager and our better players have done. They give me hope going into any game.
Mm.
Like I said, could we lose to Brighton 3-4-0? Absolutely. But I'm still confident of going into that game.
Yeah.
And football comments, God, I get to this who says, getting out of the Europa will always be a blessing. We got to expose the players that aren't good enough before we're in the Champions League next season. I think we already knew.
Yeah.
I don't think winning the Europa League, it didn't change my opinion on these players. I'd still push, even if we would have won a treble, I still would have pushed the majority of this team off a cliff.
Yeah.
Because they're not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, fam. Go on.
No, you're preaching right now. I think that's the thing, like that I've always said. We've had enough information. We have enough data to come to the conclusion that a lot of it just isn't good enough.
Mhm.
Right? Like a lot of it just isn't good enough. So when some people rely upon one game to kind of change their conclusion, it's like, well, how much of them have you been watching?
Mhm.
And I'm just looking at it, and it's just the mentality is off with a lot of these dudes, and it's never going to change because that's just what it is with them.
Yeah.
They showed you themselves enough times for you to come to a great conclusion. Like DDG, we knew what it was, right? All we hope is that he still doesn't make the decisions that he made yesterday.
Hmm.
We knew exactly what the limitations were. It hadn't changed
Yeah.
since we started this season. So I'm just I'm tapped out with people who I didn't want to be tapped out with. Um, but if you can only show me that side so many times, and me still stand by you, like no, I'm okay. I've done my part. I've tried to support them as much as I could, but it's just like production over everything. Um, and yeah, it's like the belly up nature of yesterday was just shocking, man. That's the best thing, and I think just getting rid is the best way to go. That's really where I'm at.
Yeah,
Just
this
like
player's gotta go. This player's gotta go, man. I'm
it's the
saying
only thing
that
that
don't change
makes
anything. Yeah, this
like
player's
the
gotta go.
reset is necessary. The reset, because again, it's like 2017, same
Yeah.
characters.
Some of the same characters, absolutely. Yeah.
2016,
Mhm.
same characters that we're relying upon.
Yeah.
And I get it, some of them young, but at the other end, it's like you're not young anymore,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those situations where I have good morning, good morning. Sorry,
It's
I
all
was
good, man. No, it's all good, man.
um,
It's all good.
yeah, it's one of it's. I'm just yeah, I'm good. Nobody deserves defending. I don't think. I think the sooner these people leave, the better. Um, and to my next point,
Mm-hmm.
I need United fans to get out of the mentality
Joe,
of
talk about it.
picking and choosing which players we want to, prop up as the reason for our failures.
Talk about it.
It's a collective issue, people. It's a collective issue. And I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. I'm more upset about the response to the goal, the first goal, than I am the goal in itself.
I gonna talk about it.
That first goal happened with 13 minutes on the board.
Mm-hmm.
From 13 minutes to the full 90,
Mm-hmm.
did we ever give any indication that we had our heart in this game?
No, it's flat.
It was just
It was
flat.
flat. It was flat. It was very flat. Extremely flat.
Look at the goals that we're talking about here, people. Let's talk about the three goals. Let's just talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
De Gea to Maguire. Okay, they press you down. You make the mistake. That's what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, the guy's just flying in. It goes off of his shoulder. That's just him making an effort to put himself in a position to score.
Yeah, absolutely.
The third one, any other player might let De Gea won't press De Gea in that situation, but they ran him down, and I'm sure he took his eye off the ball and looked and saw that, oh, this guy's coming near me, puts his foot out wrongly, rebounds off of it. They get one of the easiest goals you're ever going to see. I can look at effort as the base factor in a lot of those situations. Right? I don't see them breaking us down tactically, finding the openings and doing all of that stuff. No, 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 no. It was right here. It was right here. It was right here in the chest. And these guys don't have what it takes. And Martinez does. Varane does. Um, I think that's another thing too. I could be wrong here, but I think that Casemiro and Martinez have a certain connection that Maguire and Casemiro don't. I think so. And I think as well, this is going to sound unfortunate, but, and it's just the truth. It really is just the truth. Like, the rest of the squad, when they see Maguire, they have doubts. When they see Maguire, they have doubts. They're not buying it. I always like body language is telling because it's not forced. It's reactionary. It's your
Yeah,
honest
that,
opinion.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
If I see you dap up the homie one way, yes, great job. And then I see you dap up the homie another way, something's wrong there that we're not seeing. So people are gonna make should be making something out of that Anthony
Well,
the low Maguire interaction because that's telling, right?
mhm,
And I think this is something that has honestly been a part of the situation with him that people are just tired of him. They're just tired because again, when the whole Ralph Ragnick situation was happening, there were whispers that he was the one talking. When
yeah,
things weren't going this way this season, he was talking, right?
yeah,
I'm looking at it, I'm just like, what are y'all where is this strength like where's this confidence coming from? Where's this kind of casual nature that you have coming from? And it's because people blow smoke up his ass. So he gets it from the crib because he damn sure will get it on the pitch. And again, I will say it till the cows come home. I need him gone because I
agreed.
think for me, he is the representation of the last 5 years of ineptitude at the club.
Mm,
I truly believe that because not only does it give you the lack of production, he gives you this false sense of bravado that he hasn't earned the right to give anybody. Like Varane,
true.
World Cup winner. Martinez now World Cup winner. But throughout the season, he showed how special he can be. Casemiro, same thing. I'm looking at you and I'm looking at a guy who's genuinely holding our progression back. That's all I can look at you as. I can't look at you as anything else other than that. You know,
Mm,
he was him on the ball is one of the biggest myths that I think we've seen. I've never seen somebody so slow on the ball, trying to make that many like decisions on the ball and
mm,
thinking that they can do it. Like, because you think about it, even the way that he processed, and I talked about it during the game, he's a back
mm.
three center back.
Yes, he is a back three centre
He's
back.
a
You did
back
say
three
that.
center back. That's it. The game is done. The book is found out on it. You need help.
Mm,
So I'm looking at him now, and I'm just like, I need you gone. And I think you told me he doesn't play in
yeah, the game he's suspended. He's
the
suspended. Yeah.
FA Cup game. Thank God.
Mm, yeah.
Thank God. I need we you just need to understand how to play football at a certain level, at a certain
Mm,
pace, with a certain even technical ability. Like the only reason Sancho looks like he can somewhat do something is because at a technical level he's very good.
mm.
But it's the other things that take him from going over the top and really showing you how like how productive he can be. There's legit nothing with Maguire that I can point to and be like, yeah, that's the one tool in his toolbox. Other thing I can say is, pause. He has a big ass head and he plays center back. That's it. That's all I can come to. Like that's all I can bring up. The
Easy.
outrageously large head he has plays him an advantage at corner piece at set pieces, but I couldn't tell last night.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah. You right. You right.
it's so much at going on here. It's just like get him out, get like pretty much this, bro. And I'll leave it. I don't want to I don't want to harp on it too many times.
Get off your chest, man. You know what I'm saying?
Anyone who Ten Hag has signed can stay. Everyone else can go.
Literally, I'm with that.
Literally, I have no. I'm done. After yesterday, none of you deserve any kind of grace.
Yeah,
If he wants you gone, he wants you gone. And
facts.
I'm gonna help him hold the door open. I'm gonna bring the
Pack the bags.
trolley out. I'm gonna bring the trolley out. I'm gonna come like the bellboy, dog. I'm gonna come through with the trolley for the bags. Like you know how on FIFA they got the guys shaking hands while they walking
Yeah,
out. That's
yeah,
me.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
be the last one at the door. I'll be the last one at the door to say, yeah, yeah. And you gonna think I was in the army? How many times I'm saluting? Like I'm probably practicing in the mirror for the day. Like, come on, bro. I'm not, and I'm just
Like,
like, it's it's so disappointing, man. Because it's like
mm,
Ten Hag can only do so much. Like he can
yeah,
only do so. Like what else? And I think people were trying to get on him, and it's like we didn't lose. Like we didn't lose yesterday because of tactics. Like tactics were not why we lost.
it wasn't a tactical thing. It wasn't a
People
substitution thing.
people shrunk in the moment.
Yeah,
Like we had people
folded.
genuinely just shrink and shrivel up in the moment, like the pitch swallowed them up.
No,
That's what
folded.
happened. It's not rocket science, people. It's not rocket
No,
science. Like when City went to give us 6, that was tactical. The losers over there at Anfield 7, tactical,
tactical. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that. Yeah,
right? Didn't set
tactics
up the
in
right
that.
way.
Well, facts, facts.
That yesterday would they didn't do nothing.
Yeah,
If
you
you
spitting,
really watched the game, they just ran around a lot with the
mm-hmm.
ball.
Spitting, fam.
So yeah, I'm telling you, I just can't. I can't deal with them dudes anymore. I wanna reset to the highest order, to the
Mm-hmm.
highest order. And I know it'll take time,
Yeah,
but I think he's moved as I thought he would move when it comes to players. Right, he got
mm,
about 3 or 4 in the transfer window. He got 2 in the January transfer window.
mm,
That's what I thought it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be a gradual process. And now I was saying this with the Glazers in charge, not knowing of the whole ownership situation, right?
mm.
And I think with that, if they, I just need the Glazers to leave because I think once they leave, they will everything like the cloud of them leaving will be such a shot in the arm. You
Yeah,
couple that with Champions League football,
yeah. Agreed.
and
That's the layer.
you're breeding something. You're breeding
Absolutely, fam.
something. Yeah.
I fully know what
So
you're saying.
I'm the future is brighter once these people, a lot of these people who have been at the forefront of what we've been lacking, like they leave. Once they leave, we can have a future.
Yes, agreed.
Um, and I think let me see what these comments talking about. We need new owners for this transfer window. We have, yeah, and I think again,
Absolutely, we do.
what did I think the thing that messes me up with Weghorst, right,
Mm,
is and it'll always be my entire. That's why I say I don't talk about him like he's supposed to be anything than what he's showing me.
facts, facts. Mm,
We had no money, we
well,
had no strikers. We had to ask Besiktas, not for a young talent, just for somebody.
we are bringing a body.
Bring in a body.
Yeah.
And so when I
Mm-hmm.
see him through that lens, I'm just looking at you like, yeah, be a body.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't. We can't continue to have the conversation about this dude and this dude and this dude if we understand who they are.
Yeah,
And if
fact.
you're judging them at a standard that's not fair to who they are, that's you. And that's you stretching yourself over something that you really shouldn't be. Because again, I've said I'll say it with De Gea's ball distribution hasn't improved since he's got here, and we've all known that.
Facts.
But the only change is year after year after year after year, the dependency on your goalkeeper to be good with his feet has grown.
Yeah, isn't yeah.
Right, Maguire. A year in, we knew. Oh, we fucked this one up. So when he's on the pitch, he's a liability. We knew.
Facts. Yeah,
Thank
you're
God we
right.
don't see McTominay all that much because we
That's
know
for the
about that,
improvement. Yeah.
right? And again, people, I don't with the Gea and Ten Hag thing for me.
Hmm.
I don't want to hold Ten Hag accountable too much because for as forward thinking as he is, there's a bit of him that is still a bit
Mm.
pragmatic and that's still stuck in the rigidness of his ways, meaning he's seen the improvements he's made with other players, and I
Yeah.
guarantee you thinks he can make an improvement with De Gea with regards to how he distributes the ball. Because I think we went maybe yeah. Well, even saying that, like, it's not saying much because I just said all that shit about a reset,
You
and
did.
he's a part of that too. Like, at least he got a like, at least you got a prem. You're not leaving empty handed. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's wanted in Spain like that.
Mm. Yeah. Where'd you go to?
Where do you go to? Everybody plays out the back in La Liga. Like
Mm.
PSG, no. Who can afford your wages,
We'd have to
right?
pay him off if we was gonna
We
move
have to
him.
pay him off. I think
Yeah.
that's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Assad. This is the point that we're talking about. Matthew, absolutely not. You talk spicy about the club, and we gave you your opportunity. Go somewhere else with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's my
Henderson's
thing with
not it.
Henderson.
Henderson's
But
not it. 100%.
um, he's made us believe, right? So I have to go with what the manager decides. Like I just truly feel and believe in what he's doing. So if he's like, yeah, I think I can get some out of DDG, I take that.
Yeah.
I'll live with that. I won't fight it. It won't charge me anyway, but I think even he knows. I guarantee you, he's looking at life after DDG. I guarantee you.
I certainly hope so. I certainly
You
hope
know,
so.
and the thing is, it's just like we say it all the time. Where do you go after you get rid of him?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's the thing. I think he sees the shot stopping as being like up there in the world.
Yeah.
And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, that's what he wants to prioritize and
Got you.
leave the playing out the back to the center backs and
Mm-hmm.
the fullbacks. But I think now we're getting too many instances where it's actually leading to results against us,
Yeah.
to where he has to look and be like, okay, is this the best way to move forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can't. I seriously do think that he's looking at it and he's like, yeah, this shit can't fly for too much longer. I do. I think he's playing up a face. And me personally, I guess to finish up, I've never really trusted what he says at press conferences.
Oh, yeah, because manager's not going to come out and say a player's terrible. You might
Yeah,
have to sell this player on. That's
yeah,
just common sense. I'm saying people who don't understand that and take everything managers say at press conferences literal, that's just foolish. And
yeah.
big up to Surfer. No Arsenal watch along, Surfer. No Arsenal watch along. There'll be no Q&A tonight, people, either. This will be the only show today on Saga. I got stuff to do. So that's why. You know what I'm saying? You know how we be busy, man, in real life. But we'll be back Sunday anyway. There'll be nothing Saturday, but we'll be back Sunday. Actually, you may get a Tank Garcia recap. I'm saying you may get
Let
that
me
on
know if
Twitch.
you want to get into one of them. Send me the link, man.
Yeah. Therefore, I sent you the link from 110% because one of my American dons who hosted the boxing show with Big Fight, he messaged me about it. But it's if I watch it live. If I manage to catch it live, I'll do a recap straight after the fight. You know what I'm saying? If I do manage to catch it live. If I don't, I'll probably do it like the Monday. So I'll let you know anyway, fam. You know what I'm saying? But Sunday, of course, you'll get the Brighton Manchester United FA Cup semi-final watch along, and then of course the Q&A as well, people. Of course. Yeah, man, that's sad. People, of course, I see a lot of people trying to find stats without context to make Ten Hag's error look bad. It's weird to me. Yeah, because they shook. That's why. They don't have to do that with Oli. But, we move. I'm saying. Yeah, we move. Let's see what else is going on. Let me get to some of this. Yeah, Jesse, like I said, I already described about Big Six, Elijah Big Six gang. Is it down to injuries now? That was a shambles yesterday. How much blame rests at the feet of the manager? Very little. Is it down to injuries? Yes, because we did miss Martinez and Varane and Rashford being 110% fit and being able to start the game. But yeah, injuries definitely played a factor, and very little of the blame rests at them. I don't
Very
really know what
little.
much more Ten Hag could have done. That's on them players over 180 minutes. Big up the man. Yesterday showed Ten Hag the
Just
start
to
reality.
just
Oh,
to
God, sorry.
further
Yeah, go on.
give you your point, bro, and I'll say
Go
it
on.
At least I will. This is the perfect saying
Mm,
for this team that we have that's currently constructed. I can take the cow to the well,
mhm,
but I can't force it to drink. I can show you everything you need to do, but if you as an individual player don't do it, that's not on me.
mm.
That's not on me. Lil Wayne got a bar. Players play, coaches coach, and cheerleaders cheer. It's it. You just hope your coach sets you up for success. After he sets you up for success, and anybody can reasonably assume that by watching that, like, yeah, he did what he had to do as a
Mhm.
coach, then we look at the players.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
yesterday I can't, and I appreciate the question. I'm not. I hope I don't come across like I'm trying to, just belittle your question. I'm just saying, like, because I think it was True Blue. I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's
I
who it
get to
was.
it. Yeah, yeah, I'll get back to it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, True Blue. Yeah,
Mhm,
it's like this, right? Even at Chelsea, you're kind of having the same situation. I can only talk about the manager so much when the performances have been the same
mhm.
through a collection of managers.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just at Ten Hag is just the one to really tap into some with four new players, four high class level
Mhm.
players. So that's the difference for me.
Yeah, so goddamn absolutely. So what's this? Jinder who says, big up the man them. Yesterday showed Ten Hag the stark reality of our squad. You can't replace the poor players in one window, so it will be a process like when Klopp started. Priority this summer as a striker. Yeah, I'm sure Ten Hag was fully aware. He watches these players day in, day out in training. He's seen performances like this. Forget results, he's seen performances like this. To me, priority is right down the spine. It's not just a striker, it's a striker, it's a number 10, it's a central midfielder, and a goalkeeper. That's just me. But what's priority for Ten Hag? Could be different for what's priority for you, me, or Eddie, or whoever else. But the spine is the most important thing. Goalkeeper, central midfielder, attacking midfielder, striker, four right down the middle. Forget. Yes, I want two new fullbacks. Yes, I want more squad players, which we do in fact need. Yeah, NJ, I think I mentioned this. Is it time for United fans to accept we are still average to above average? Yeah, no. We're above average with a very good manager who's got us performing to a good level. And when I say performing to a good level, I'm talking results wise. He's getting results out of these lot.
Yeah.
Do you think Ten Hag? Do you think next season United will challenge for the title with the correct signings? Yes, because I believe with the correct signings in January, we challenge for this title. We don't win it, but we challenge
Yeah.
for this title. 110%, we challenge for this title. Because look at what where the manager had us 2 months ago. People was talking about, yo, can Manchester United win the league, title contenders, blah blah blah. And I said, no, we can't. But yes, if we sign the correct players in the correct positions, I trust in Ten Hag. Yes, big up time to shine as always. Just
My
says,
dog.
just got back from the game yesterday. What a shit show. Need to listen to some therapy. We here, man. Play simple. I get to this. What with the tweet saying 15 players are due to be sold, and that's what Play Simple saying. We'll get to that.
Mm.
Well, we'll get to it now. Yes, I did see this. Big up to Flex, the United View. I seen him post something on Instagram, and that's reports. Let me find it. I've got it here actually. It
Mm.
said here, Eric Ten, this is source Jamie Jackson. How reliable he is, I don't know. Ten
Right.
Hag will oversee a summer clear out of senior Manchester United players with Sancho, Martial, Maguire, Lindelof, Scott McTominay, and Fred heading a list of at least 15 whose futures are under threat. Good. Love this.
I hope,
Good.
but you know what?
Good.
It sounds way too good to be true. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
it does
why.
sound. It does.
I'll tell you why. Because of the timing.
Mm,
You get packed out 3-0. What does everybody want to hear? Certain
yeah,
dudes are going to be gone.
facts.
So, especially on social media, you posting that out creates a certain level of traction to your page.
True.
Um, I'll believe it when I see it when they say 15.
Yeah.
But do I believe that a lot of players who we've been having to rely upon will be gone and sold? I definitely do.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do because I think we're gonna have new ownership, and I think they're gonna listen to what Ten Hag wants, and I think they're gonna do their best to give it to him because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see it. And I guess what I think his name was Thomas Bay. Shout out to Thomas because I've been seeing you in the chat. And we just disagree, right? I don't think effort is on the manager. I think effort is internal. I think you
That's a
like I
given.
that's a given, right? I think tryhards, like I call them tryhards, but is there a place for tryhards on your team? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because for instance, for example, I know that people hate to bring up this name again, but a guy like Pogba, right? If you give me a tryhard next to Pogba, you'll see the best out of Pogba because Pogba will be able to focus on the big things that make his name shine, and the little things you can leave to a tryhard. That's what makes Casemiro so different is that he's a top level tryhard with top level technical ability.
Thanks.
That puts him in a category and a class of his own. And that's the perfect thing you want from a DM, right?
Mhm.
Fred. Fred is a tryhard and he has a short-term memory. So he's always going to play hard. Even when he makes a mistake,
Mhm.
he gets the ball back, then he makes another mistake. Gets the ball back again, makes
Mhm.
another mistake. Right? That's the difference. And so Ten Hag, that's been Fred this entire time of his career, though. Ten Hag didn't have to tell him to play hard, right?
Mhm.
I say it like this: 8 men who are fully locked in together mentally are way stronger than 80 men together with their own agendas. I'll say it again: 8 men with the same mentality and togetherness are stronger than 80 men who are brought together with their own agendas.
Yeah.
That's what we have to look at when it comes to this squad.
Agreed.
We had a collection of individuals, we say five aside. We have 4 or 5 dudes on the same wavelength every time. And honestly, 3. And our point will forever remain valid. When we've had that Bermuda Triangle, we call it, of Casemiro, Varane, Martinez,
Mhm.
we have been nothing like the team you saw yesterday.
Yeah. Apart from the Liverpool game, that's the
The
only time.
Liverpool, but
That's
even
a
the
one-off.
Liverpool was such a it was such a fluke.
Yeah, it was a one-off game.
You
Like,
know,
mhm.
it's like I'm looking at it and I'm just like, we could, we have something special here, and it's just the manager is getting that extra something out of those players, but he's getting all he can get out of the ones who've been here all this time, and we're seeing how much they just aren't it.
Mhm.
That's what it comes down to for me, man. So I don't want to. The manager is the least of my concern. I think the
Yeah.
manager right now, our manager is the most important thing at our club.
Agreed.
I think you can go some place you can go to, like, you, for example, the most important person at PSG is Mbappe, right?
Mhm.
That's the most important asset at PSG. The most important asset at a Manchester City is a Pep. Now, I don't think any player comes close, right?
Yeah.
But you can make an argument for
Mhm.
De Bruyne because of how he's been able to
Mhm.
implement Pep's system to be successful. Um, I think you could say the same for a loser pool, right? You can be like, you know what, Salah might be the most important thing to what they got going on, or
Mhm.
Klopp, either or. But I think it's head and shoulders Ten Hag,
Yeah.
and maybe I'd say second is probably Martinez.
Well,
Right, I'd say Martinez is probably our second most important asset because of what he's provided for us this entire season. So yeah, the manager's, like you said countless times, and like I'll say countless times after this, he is the least of my concern. And a lot of the
very much so.
losses, and then any loss we can look at, many of them aren't going to be his fault, in my opinion.
Yeah. And like I say, with the 15 players, I hope it's true. However, it is remain to be seen as well. But I want them gone. Yeah, you lot continue to get your questions in. No, please keep them Manchester United related. Hit the likes. Let's bump up the likes for 55. Let's get up to 60 subscribers as well. Get us up to 6,335 people. We're 5 subscribers short, man. Hit the subscribe button, man, and hit the notification bell as well. Make sure you do so. Matthew says, would you give Henderson a chance or look elsewhere for a goalie? Yeah, Eddie already mentioned it. Me, I'm looking elsewhere. I'm looking elsewhere. Like I said, no Arsenal Southampton watch along today. Um, Matthews says, "Would you drop De Gea for Sunday and play Butland?" I know that would be a huge call. No, I'd still persist with De Gea. So I don't think Butland's it. So I'd still persist. Flawless, I asked for a friend of mine who's an Arsenal fan. Why is Arsenal trying their best to stop our takeover from Qataris? He said the 30 years of dominance from Manchester clubs must stop. Of course. Why would you want to see your rivals get taken over? Of course not. Assad, you being a real one here. He says, I'll be real. I didn't even have Man United anywhere near the top four convo at the start of the season. Neither did most people. So why are they dissing the same team for being third and winning a cup? Because agendas have to agenda. That's why.
Agendas.
Agendas have to agenda. That's why I'm not hearing nothing about it. I'm not hearing about any nonsense about our team and where we're at. I think you need to refurbish that back line, two centre backs and two full backs. I don't think we need two centre backs. I disagree with that. Varane and Martinez are fine. We need backup centre backs to them. I think we need one because I like Luke Shaw as backup to Martinez. I think we need one centre back.
We need two left backs.
Yeah, I think we need at least
Or
one
left back
one,
for
yeah,
sure.
and one right back. I agree with that. We need two first teamers in that situation. Let's see. Understand the point, but on our worst day, beating a 12th place team in the league is effort and caring about the badge. Yeah, that too. But also outside of caring and effort is also about passing the ball to each other. Technically, we folded.
Yeah.
Look at the passing. We put together no moves. Put together passing, Thomas. Like, I'm not on this effort and mentality and stuff like that. Yes, it's important.
It's
How about you
important.
not pass the ball to each other?
It's like
That's what we need to do.
it's the I think it's the thing is that's what that match at a bare minimum called for, right? Matching their intensity, and then what would have taken us over the top would have been our ability to execute.
Yeah.
So I think like because we're more talented than them, but we didn't play as intensely as they did, so we were behind the entire time.
Yeah, it was just awful. In regards to what else we got to discuss, obviously we mentioned the whole Sevilla game. 15 players potentially being offloaded. Obviously we got Brighton coming up. Harry Maguire suspended. Luke Shaw's injured. So someone mentioned it in the chat already. It is looking like it'll probably be a Lindelof and Casemiro centre back pairing. I can see that happening. And then a midfield, Bruno will go back in there. Probably Fred Eriksen, Bruno. So that'll probably be, and then fullback Wan-Bissaka will probably play right back. Maybe Malacia left back. De Gea in goal. I see Rashford going back into the side. Anthony from the right. Martial is injured, I believe. So if he's not fit and available, it'll probably be Vegas. Or he might play Rashford through the middle, play Sancho from the left. But like Eddie said, I'm tired of these players, man. I've been tired. I'm done. I'm out. Like, I've been tapped out. I'm tapping out even more. Like, we need a whole new team. These players are not good enough. And even if we were, this ain't reactionary, because even if we would have won the Europa League, I'd still be here saying the same thing. Because the Europa League is not the pinnacle. That is not the bar. So I didn't need this game to show that, yo, De Gea's not it. And Wan-Bissaka and Dalot and Lindelof and Maguire and Eriksen in terms of an upgrade on Eriksen. And Sabitzer should be a squad player. You know what I'm saying? And Sancho. I said if I get a good offer for him, he's gone. Same with Martial. I wanted these players to deliver, stand up. I spoke about the front six. Not one of them, bar Anthony, really delivered, really stood up and be counted. Even RJ, yeah, injuries is just part of football, and that's just unlucky. But even with the injuries, we should get past Sevilla because they're crap. They're not a good side at all. Yeah, we need about 13 players, Kaneki. I agree 100%. But now it's on to Brighton. We can make this a mixed week if we do indeed beat Brighton. Can we beat Brighton? Yes. Will we beat Brighton? I also think yes. Am I confident in that? Also yes. Am I very confident in that, people? Absolutely not. I'm a Manchester United fan. You're never going to see me sit here and talk on this microphone and talk on this platform and predict a Manchester United loss. At worst, I'm going to predict a draw. Look back, when do I ever predict us to lose? Even though I'll be super like negative and say all the bad things we've got leading up into this game, all the injuries, the severe performance, I'm still sat here saying, yeah, we'll beat Brighton. Still confident of beating Brighton. And then it's FA Cup. Hopefully Sheffield United do us a favor in the semi-final. I highly doubt that happens. But then it's City in the FA Cup final. Are City the favourites? Absolutely. Do I think we beat City in that final? Absolutely. Yes. I'm confident, even though they're the better side and have the better manager and have the better team and the better players. It's a one-off final. I don't know if, like I said, if my team even give me a little bit to shout about and a little bit of hope, I'm gonna run with it. The reason why you lot see me so down for those that I've been watching for long during the Ollie period, because I had no faith in the manager. I had zero faith in the manager. I genuinely have faith in the manager. And I have faith in the players. Whereas under Ollie, I had zero faith in him and I had faith in the players. Like, you lot are going to pull some individual brilliance out and do the business. Whereas now we have a manager, I believe, who can tactically set us up to get a result. That's what it is. I'm looking at it. And we've seen Pep fumble the bag in finals before. We've seen it. We've seen him do it. We've seen him do it in Champions League finals. We've seen him doing it in Champions League semi-finals. They lost the Carabao Cup to Southampton as well. I'm hoping there's a repeat performance and we get Sheffield United in the final. But it'll be tough. But there'll be a response from the players. Because one thing we've not done all season, and I've spoken on this, is had back-to-back performances that have been poor. Every time we've had a poor result, the performance after a result, there's always been a reaction, apart from the first game of the season. Look at any of our terrible losses or terrible results. We've always bounced back. Whether that's Liverpool, whether that's the Manchester City game, Sevilla, the first leg, look at the game against Forest, Newcastle, we bounced back against Everton and Brentford. We've always bounced back. So I'm expecting a response. And I'm expecting our better players to stand up, even if it is Casemiro playing centre-back. I'm looking at Casemiro, I'm looking at Eriksen, I'm looking at Rashford. If we're going to do anything in this game and anything for the remainder of the season, it's on you three. Varane hopefully will be back. I heard he's back in May. Varane I throw into that mix. So for the time being, it's them three players. It's Casemiro, it's Eriksen, it's Rashford. It's number 18, number 14, and number 10. If those three are on it and play well, we got a chance. Bear in mind, we only need them to play well in 2 games. The semi-final and the final. Right. Forget the league. We don't even need you lot to play well in the, play well in the league games. I'm tapped out of the league. Really tapped out. Like, yes, I will still do watch-alongs for you lot. I still do previews. I still do recaps. And I still obviously be invested as the game's on, but I'm talking long-term. Because I don't rate the teams chasing us around us. I fixture list some tough games, some more favorable games. We should still do the business. We played Spurs on Thursday. Who do we play after Spurs? I can't remember. Let me check. Can't remember who is after Spurs. Hold up. Who is it? Let me have a look. Let me see this. Yeah, so it's Brighton, Spurs, and then Aston Villa on the Sunday. Then after that, away at Brighton, away at West Ham, home to Wolves, away at Bournemouth, home to Fulham, last game of the season. And then obviously we got the Chelsea game to rearrange in that as 2.
Right.
But yo, son, I'm looking at is FA Cup, man. It's all FA Cup. That's what I'm looking at this season. I'm not looking at these games. I'm saying, if you bring me the FA Cup, I'd lose every Premier League game. I'm saying, as much as do I really want to be in the Champions League next season? Not without new owners, no. If you give me another season in the Europa League, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I hear that. I ain't
trying to be in the Champions League and get embarrassed. Like we got embarrassed in the Europa League. Imagine what happens in the Champions League if we don't get the players required.
Oh my gosh. See
what I'm saying? Just a thought. If we play at Real Madrid and play like that. You've seen what they did to Liverpool. That could be us. That could be us. 100%. I think that's all the questions as well. You lot get your final few questions in. Anything you want to add, Eddie, before we close out?
I think it's gonna be 2-1 us.
Oh yeah, Brighton game. Yeah. We need to preview.
I'll go 2-1 us. Still think I don't think this is that. I don't think they can come out and give the same performance twice. I think, if they do, then we have a lot of questions to ask, like whether or not this is how our season's going to be looking.
Yeah.
In the end, I'll go 2-1 us. I'll go. I guess Shaw said he's good to go, so he might be. I don't think he's.
Be sure, then that'd be good.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
think Shaw said he's good to go.
Mm-hmm.
We need it. We need something at this point. I'm just want to see the performance and what they do out there, and then that'll tell me everything. But nah, man, I've tapped out talking about this one, man. I can't. I just want to forget about it and go on and enjoy my Friday. So
Yeah,
that's where
man,
I'm at.
enjoy. 100%. 100%. I'm saying 2-1 as well, people. Like I said, we aren't live tonight. We won't be live Saturday either. Maybe, like I said, you get a Tank Garcia recap on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch, but we're back Sunday. Obviously, you'll get the Brighton Manchester United FA Cup semi-final watch along here on the YouTube channel, and then following that midnight on Sunday to end your weekend. As always, you get the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A, where we answer all of your sporting questions, people. And then I've already updated the live stream schedule for next week. So, all the shows that are coming up. So all your ManDem United podcasts, all the crossovers I do with all the big six, other big six teams. So Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs. Like I said, I'm going to pattern a City one as well. I'm going to do that for you lot. Doing the most as well, all the Q&As, all the Manchester United watch-alongs, and then on the Twitch, you know what I'm saying, all the Premier League watch-alongs, because there is midweek games, fan calling show, I'm going to pattern in there as well, and I'm just waiting for the NBA to release the times for the NBA games from next week, so that I know which games I'm doing. Someone earlier asked about the Knicks and the Cavs. I'm going to start doing some Eastern Conference. Obviously, we did game 3 of the Clippers and Suns yesterday as well. There'll be Lakers, Grizzlies in there, Warriors, Kings, Clippers, Suns, Knicks, Cavs. They're probably the 4 series I'm looking at. They seem the most exciting. Thomas says, you both are awesome today. I appreciate it very
Hey,
much.
thank you,
Love for the
Thomas.
kind words, man.
Man,
Thomas,
appreciate
appreciate
you
it.
coming. Hope to see you back here a couple more times, man.
Yeah, man. Thomas is another regular here. Love to see all the regulars, all the new people. Just continue to support the channel as always, because the reason you lot see me on big platforms, so whether it's with Rants, whether it's with Saeed, whether it's on Troops' podcast, whether it's Big Six, you lot keep pushing my name out there. That's why I'm on the show with Matisse and stuff like that. It's used. On with Lewis. It's you lot. So just continue to support and push my name out there. And anytime you want to see me on the show, you lot have the power to make it happen. If you lot asking and all in the mentions and all in the comments and are like, get flawless on the platform, that platform's going to come and get me. You sending messages and dropping like ats on Twitter and in the Instagram comments and in Twitter DMs and Instagram DMs and on comments of those live shows, they'll get me back. A Big Six will get me back. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see me on all these platforms is because of you lot. So I really appreciate the support, whether you're a United fan or a non-United fan. Like, really, really do appreciate it. Let me see who's live actually, because I believe Big Six Bants is live. I believe Monts is going live, and I'm on there. So I'll just redirect you lot to there anyway. Let me see. Wait, what's going on? Is it not there? I don't know what's going on. I think I am anyway. I heard from Monts earlier, but I've not heard from him again. But let's see. Yeah, what time? Yeah, 6:15. Yeah. So that should be live. But anyway, I'll send you lot over there anyway. But love to everyone that's locked in. And this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.